Hi, it's Lisa Honold with the Center for Online Safety. Today, I want to talk to you about the 3 secrets to get kids to put down their screens. Get them to actually go eyeball to eyeball with you again. At the Center for Online Safety, our mission is to work with parents on ending the screen time struggles so that families can get back to having fun together. There's good news about the 3 secrets. They are things that you can do as the parent to affect change right now today. You don't need your kids' buy-in. You don't need anything except to follow these 3 steps. And that's great because you can control your actions, right? You can control, as the leader of your family, what kind of guidelines you set out there. So the first one is to understand that kids want guidelines, even though they say they don't, even though they're going to push back. They actually want you as the parent to stand firm and give them rules that they can follow. That's rules like your phone is to be put away at 9 p.m. That's rules like homework needs to be done first, or chores need to be done first at our house. They actually want to blame you for them having to get off screen. They actually want these rules in place. And what I've noticed is when screens aren't available, yeah, kids might be bored. Yeah, they might drag around for a little bit, but then they get creative. Then they start playing with each other. Then they suddenly find a recipe and they decide to make something. Then good things happen. They might even play with their siblings. They might call a friend. So many options when online is not an option always. So that's the first secret. Kids want rules. Second secret, apps will help you. There are parental control apps that will save you hundreds of hours through the years, hundreds of hours. The 2 apps I recommend for every family to try: Circle, which is an app that lets you limit time online for your kids, and lets you filter the internet, which every parent needs a filter on their internet. Please, 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 your kids do not need to see everything that's online. And that's the default. They're seeing everything unless you have a filter. So Circle is my go-to app for filters and setting limits. It's great for setting limits because you can go by child, by age, by what they are ready for the responsibility of, whether it's social media or games or downloads without your permission. Those kinds of things can all be tweaked inside the app. The other app I recommend to everyone is called Bark, like the dog barking. It lets you see when your kid needs help online, when your child is struggling with cyberbullying or perhaps a child predator even. I know we don't want to talk about this, but they're out there. If there is sexually explicit things happening or excessively violent things, there are so many reasons to use this tool to start conversations. It's not a tool that you would ever go in and punish kids with. It's a, hey, I think you need some help with this. This is how we do things at our house. These are the values we hold dear. I see that this is happening online. It's not acceptable. Just like you do that in real life. That behavior is not acceptable. Until now, we haven't been able to do that online, and I'm giving you tools so that you can do that. That's the second one. Try those 2 apps. The third secret to getting kids to put down their screens is what I call a sideways conversation. Those are neutral, slow, non-judgmental conversation starters that you don't have a real agenda with. You just want to start the conversation. So that would look like not in the heat of the moment, but when you and your child are both calm, to sit down next to them, not looking eye to eye, looking sideways at each other, and say, hey, did you realize that the average amount of time online for kids is 6.5 hours? Not including homework. That's 6.5 hours of entertainment a day. Did you know that? Does that feel like it's true for your friends? Does that feel like it's true for you? I wonder if I use that much time a day. starting with curiosity, listening for answers, pausing, and not going to that parent judgment place, but staying in, I wonder what's true for you. And just having that conversation changes everything. Now you're not focused in a power struggle, is how it relates. Your child against you is a power struggle. When you and your child are sitting together and looking at an outside problem, that's how real solutions are made. Another conversation starter, a sideways conversation starter, is, oh my goodness, I just learned that adults check their phones 150 times a day. Do you think I do that? Do you look around and see other adults checking their phones 150 times a day? Do you think you do that? Do you think your friends do that? What do you think they're not doing if they're doing that all the time? What do you think's happening? Is that healthy? All of those questions are curiosity questions. There's no right answer, right? This is just starting the conversation. Don't have an agenda. This is not going to be a one and done conversation where at the end of this, you're all buttoned up and you've got all the rules in place. This is just a beginning. And when they allow you into their world and they start to say, you know, I wish that it was different. I wish my friends wouldn't bring their devices over every single time and just sit on their phones instead of hanging out like we used to. There's your in, but you have to wait for it. You can't start the conversation with an agenda. Let them tell you where they see problems. And they do, they see problems. It's just a matter of trusting that you'll get there eventually. Maybe not this first time, maybe not the second time, you'll get there. So those are the 3 secrets. You can change all 3 of those without their buy-in. It's the mindset shift of, oh, my kids actually want some rules in place. That's number 1. Number 2 is use the apps to make the rules easy. You set a limit of 2 hours a day, but how are you going to enforce that limit? With those apps, that's how. How are you going to know they're doing the right thing? With those apps. The 3rd secret is the sideway conversations. How you approach everything, loving with kind eyes, soft eyes, changes the dynamic of, energetically, it changes everything when you come at them with love and not point out their bad behaviors right away. If you found this helpful and you're ready to explore what working with me privately would look like, get onto my calendar. I have a free session just for you. Go to centerforonlinesafety.com and then go to the tab that says work with me, set up a free session, and we will explore that. I can't wait to get started.